Well, that was a surprising way to end Group B. Okay, let's get to my low and my high match of kindness. My low is, I'm still a little bit on the mend. I mean, I'm nowhere near as bad as I was on Monday. Not even close. But my appetite is still kind of shot. So, trying to sort of eat a little more. Let's see. My high was watching The Masked Singer last night. And my act of kindness was my father asked me to do something for him. And I did it. So, good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. And happy Hot Wednesday. Man, it's such... I just realized it really is so cool that, you know, two of my favorite things to watch, whether it's on TV or, you know, the internet, are both Hot Ones and The Masked Singer. And we're now in that sweet spot where they're happening simultaneously. I mean, it's not going to last forever. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to have, well, this should be episode 9 of Hot Ones. Huh. Both, actually, season 20 Hot Ones and season 9 of The Masked Singer should end a week apart from each other, if my math is correct. Because, actually, no, it won't be. No, I'm wrong. Because it's the 9th guest of, like, the Hot Ones this week. Or is it the 7th? Well, the point is, Hot Ones is going to end sooner than Masked Singer. But we're in that threshold where, for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, they're going to be pretty much back-to-back days. I love that. You know, it's not very often that you get a sling of your favorite shows and programs all corresponding at random, and not on purpose, by the way. Like, First We Feast and Hot Ones have nothing to do with each other, like behind the scenes or whatever. But the fact that I get them back-to-back days, that's pretty sweet. So, let's talk about The Masked Singer, because that's what today's for. So, I probably haven't mentioned this before. I don't really listen to a lot of country music. I don't hate country music. I think country music is perfectly fine. I just don't really listen to it a lot. So I'm not really what you would consider an expert on this particular genre of music. But I can definitely recognize when music sounds good. And I have heard a lot of really good country songs. Just, again, country's not the first thing I look for. Now, my late grandfather, on the other hand, he loved country music. In fact, whenever I rode in his car to anywhere, he'd always have country music on. I don't know. So let's focus on the task at hand. So everything started off with the fairy, and she did Angel from Montgomery from Bonnie Raitt, which was very good. And then we get into the next two contestants, the axolotl and the macaw. For those of you who don't know what an axolotl is, it's an amphibian that tends to spend a vast majority of its time in the water. Bro, my favorite show of all time is Amphibia. You really think I wouldn't know what an axolotl is? Thank you. Anyway. And Axolotl actually did a song that I kind of know. Well, sort of. I mean, I know the person who actually sings the song. Actually, it was season 4 Masked season winner, LeAnn Rimes. Yeah, I Can't Fight the Moonlight by LeAnn Rimes. And she was really good. honestly, I thought you'd be hard pressed to find like who you'd want to get voted off the show. And then came the Macaw, who did Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. And the Macaw blew everybody away. So much so that pretty much without even missing a beat, Axolotl was the first to go. And it turned out to be Alexa Bliss, WWE superstar. Which, Alexa Bliss, shout out to you. You said yourself you battle anxiety a lot, especially when singing. You clearly have chops. You know, just, honestly, it's one of those things you gotta do more. I can't say I'm free of that either. I've always been, here's the thing, I've never legit bombed on stage in terms of singing before. But I can tell you what, every time before I ever performed in front of a crowd, like, I was scared. Scared. Holy cow, I was scared. Like, I'm like maybe 5 minutes away from being on stage. I'm like, what on earth am I about to do? That was me in a nutshell. Crazy, right? So, congratulations to Alexa Bliss. You sounded awesome. If for whatever reason you want to continue singing, you definitely have a future at that, to be sure. And now we have to get to the Battle Royale, which was between the Fairy and the Macaw. And hooray for me, I actually know this song. Please, it was That Don't Impress Me Much by Shania Twain, which, how many times have I heard that song just randomly playing on the radio? Like, to put things into perspective, I've heard that song so much that there are times where just the beat is in my head. There are times where, like, it would be playing on the radio, but it wasn't a specific country music station. It was just playing because it's there. Which, you know what, that does impress me much. Okay, that was kind of a weak one. That was weak. Oh well. So, both performers did really good. And they like to do that thing where, you know, they cut the commercial before they reveal who gets unmasked, right? And I'm like, okay. At first I'm like, okay, Macaw was good, but come on, he's not going to beat the Fairy. And at the commercial, I'm like, that's when I had second thoughts. So I'm thinking, oh gosh, the Macaw's going to win, isn't he? It turns out the Macaw won. And I have something to say about that momentarily. But the Fairy had to get unmasked. And it turns out it was Holly Robinson Peete. Which, she's already a star in her own right. But what made this particularly special was, because she performed on Sesame Street night. Her father, I believe she said his name was Mark, actually was one of the original people who worked on Sesame Street. So, when Holly was a little girl, her father actually took her to the Sesame Street set. And, you know, she met, you know, all the Sesame Street characters. So, 40 plus years later, I think that's how long she said it was, she's able to sing to Oscar the Grouch, which, Come on, that's like one of the coolest full circle things ever. So congratulations, Holly Robinson Peete. If nothing else, you got to, honor your father in that regard by singing on Sesame Street night. You totally crushed it. And you crushed it last night too. Honestly, the one thing about this season that's kind of annoying me so far is, because it's happened in Group A, and it happened just now too, where you had Medusa in Group A, and you had the Fairy in Group B, and both of them were clear front runners to win their group to go to the quarterfinals. And then, out of nowhere, on the last episode, before that group is over, someone shows up out of nowhere and snatches the crown from them. I mean, that's just not fair. Bro, I did all the work. Give me the credit, will you? Oh, well. I mean, I didn't find this as offensive as what happened with Medusa because, the macaw was good, but it was just the macaw. When Medusa lost, it was literally 1 versus 5. Listen, it takes a Herculean effort for one person to outsing multiple singers. Honestly, California Roll could have just been 3 people, and it still would have been hard for Medusa to win. But that's just not fair. Because, at that point when Pentatonix was clearly performing as the California Roll, you guys don't, right, I already think it's Pentatonix as the California Roll. But come on, there's 5 of them. And it's a co-ed group. And they sound young. Who else could it be? I guess maybe S Club 7. But again, California Roll is only 5 people in the mask. S Club 7 was legit 7 people, so yeah. It couldn't really work out that way, could it? Yeah, well, I'm overthinking this. At the end of the day, this was a fun episode. I mean, no, I'm not a diehard country fan, but I do appreciate good music when I hear it, and trust me when I tell you, I heard a lot of good music last night. With that said, next week is 80s night. Oh, the speculation that everybody's going to have in terms of what songs are going to be heard next week. I mean, actually, what songs could we hear next week? I mean, you may be able to hear a little bit of Elton, I guess. No, I think Elton was more 70s. Shoot. Maybe a little bit of Rolling Stones, or maybe? Yeah, listen, I like 80s music. I can't remember any 80s bands, which shows how much of a legit music fan I am. Listen, for those of you wondering, the reason why I never really sought out any sort of career or, profession in singing and music was I knew I'd have to go to college for that, and I knew I would immediately hate it because it would take away all the fun out of it for me. I mean, listen, honestly, that sort of logic is why I don't like to read either. I mean, there have been lots of paragraphs and essays and papers, whatever have you, on how one particular chord in this one particular song during this one particular time in humanity, was very reminiscent of that era. and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to hear any of that. I want to sing. I want to have fun. When you analyze all that, you're not going to... You take all the fun out of it, you know? Maybe I guess that's why I'm not really one of them crazy, great singers or whatever. I like to sing. I mean, the reason why I don't sing right now is, you know, I'm completely horrified of getting trademarked. Or not trademarked, but copyrighted. And I don't want that. No one wants that. So I guess for now, I'll just stick to where I am. But I'm happy to do it. So I hope you all liked this video. And if you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video. For all you guys who watch, enjoy for today. Hope we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Hope you enjoy watching Hot Ones today, too. And remember, if you guys want to talk, channel is going to be here to lend you always your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.